Hi, good afternoon. My name is David, and today I am running a session of Bite Marks. Bite Marks is a Powered by the Apocalypse game of Werewolf Pack Dynamics by Becky Anderson of Black Armada Games. It is, as known, just our players will be playing a pack of werewolves. We'll be looking at the drama, both internal and external to their pack, and how they deal with that. This game as well, we are running with so part of the Gauntlet Book Club. We have all read the novel Wolfsong by TJ Klune, and we are sort of using that as a source of inspiration, if not a fixed canon for this game. You can find out more about all of this if you check back at the beginning of this run of games, as this is our penultimate episode of is it going to be 7-8 sessions in total. So check back at the beginning if you are interested in learning more and haven't seen any of it yet. This game is being run as part of the Gauntlet, which is an online role-playing group. We sort of arrange games like this one through an online calendar, which you can check out at gauntlet-rpg.com. There are regularly spaces free in games, which anyone is free to sign up for. So do check those out if you're interested. We also have a number of podcasts, as well as a monthly gaming magazine called Codex, which has all sorts of stuff, new games, stuff for existing games, other indie game related stuff. So do check all of that out at the website. Without further ado, I will ask my players to introduce themselves. I will go for our usual character keeper order. We are currently missing Stephen, sadly. Hopefully we'll get him at some point during the session, but we'll be pressing on regardless. So Sabine, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you'll be playing.
Hi, I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns, and I'm going to play Ivar, he, him pronouns, who's the pack's enforcer. He was turned when he was into a werewolf when he was quite young. He has been with the pack for a long time. He's been the enforcer for the old alpha. Ivar is in his mid-50s. He's been doing this for a long time. He's a carpenter in real life. He had a wife named Enid who officially died of cancer. Unofficially, they tried to make her into a werewolf, and that went very wrong. And he had to take her out eventually, which was a bit traumatic for him, I think. The two of them have a son, Paul, who is a grown-up person now, who has a boyfriend, and a best friend who's now the Pax Alpha. Poor Paul, he's a normal human person, but surrounded by werewolves.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And next, Drew, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you're playing.
I'm Drew. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Jackson, the pack's fixer, who is a born werewolf who has he's very connected to the human world, and that's left him pretty torn, especially when it comes to, well, I guess less so now. He was a lot more torn with regards to his boyfriend, Paul, until he had to reveal to Paul that he was a werewolf, and pretty much everyone else in his life was also a werewolf. He is still a little, well, more than a little conflicted about the new pack alpha, who is a little reckless and new to this, but is doing his best to keep providing for the pack as a Instagram influencer and photographer in town.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And last but not least, Jamie, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you'll be playing.
Yeah, so I'm Jamie. I used they, them pronouns. That was my cat, Cassandra. I was about to introduce her. So, of course, in cat behavior, she left. But I am playing Ghost, who uses he, they pronouns. Ghost is the howl of the pack. And so that means Ghost is inherently connected to some of the more mystical aspects of being a werewolf. Their heartbeats are loving, secretive, and sacrificing. And a lot has happened for Ghost. Ghost is still getting used to the... Ghost is very comfortable taking care of other people, even if they're not confident that they know how to do it, but they're doing their best. And they still have a lot that they haven't really resolved with some characters, like especially Jax, for example. And aside from that, they have something that's happening that's going on with our alpha, who replaced his brother, the alpha. It's very complicated. And Ghost is not sure what's going on. He's very good at the mystical stuff, not so much the emotional stuff, the romance relationship stuff. But yeah. And so lately now he knows that his mother, who was estranged from the group for various reasons, claims that Ghost can help her retether, and he's very, very skeptical if that's true. But if it is true, it would be good to help other werewolves as well. But there's a lot writing on this. So yeah, so that's Ghost.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And so last time we had the pack in the aftermath of dealing with some omegas, sort of feral wolves, who generally cause mischief, to put it lightly. They drove them off and discovered this ancient cave where there was some strange magics that had been worked, that seemed to be in some way poisoning the land. This investigation of this led back to Noelle, the former matriarch of the pack, but banished for her dalliance with powers and spirits that she perhaps shouldn't have, or at least definitely shouldn't have, in accordance with the laws of the pack. There was some further discussion of things between members of the pack. We saw some more drama come out of that, and when we last saw Jackson, we just introduced a new character, a man by the name of Eric, who definitely set off, I think it was fair to say, alarm bells to an extent, but does not immediately seem to be out to cause any harm, as far as people can see. So I think that's kind of a rough summation of what we got up to last time. So yeah, I think as we sort of discussed, I'm going to give people space if there are sort of some interpersonal scenes between different characters I'd like to see, or any other bits and pieces you want to check up on, investigate, learn more about, on the stuff we have so far. As I said, the immediate threat of the Omegas has been resolved. There is no looming danger over the pack at the moment, though there's possibly hints of what may come out there still. I'm just going to ask openly at first, has anyone got an initial scene in mind they would like with either another player character or with an NPC?
Yeah, Drew, were you interested in finding out more about that mysterious stranger, or did you want to save that for later?
Could be fun to bump into Eric again, but I think I don't have anything in particular in mind, but Ghost and Jackson have not really interacted at all yet.
That's true. We had one very awkward non-conversation at the dinner table. That's about it. Yeah, we can start with that if you like.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, where would we like to see this scene? Is this at the pack house, or is this maybe a chance meeting in town, or has Jackson asked Ghost to meet him somewhere, or vice versa?
Ghost works at like a tech store, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe Jackson is in need of some gear.
Yeah, and it's a small town. There's only like one or two tech stores, so I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think Ghost hasn't shown up for a while, and so is that at the store in particular. So they're catching up, and they're working hard there.
Yeah, maybe like restocking some of the shelves and the like as Jackson comes in.
Just looking up camera gear for some similitude to this.
Could be like filters or lenses, yeah.
So it's maybe early-ish in the morning, and Jackson isn't really prepared for this kind of meeting when he runs into the store.
Yeah, I think Ghost usually doesn't show up in the mornings. I think that's why it's especially because Ghost is usually taking care of breakfast for people. Yeah. That makes sense.
I think Jackson will kind of walk in, probably looking down at his phone at first, and just kind of see the first blue or red shirted person and wander over and, warm up that winning smile, and then kind of freeze. And you're early.
Yes, and Ghost has pulled their hair back into serious ponytail stock inventory mode. And he says, I did you need something? Is there something wrong at home? Or
My power bank is fritzing out. Just something, no less than. This is super awkward.
Oh, so this is not a power bank, right? Yeah. We have banks that power devices. That is correct. I will. They're all kind of the same. Do you like a particular color?
Black, gray, something a little understated.
Oh,
With anything?
I don't associate you with understated, but
well, at least, what I want to be the focus of the frame is.
True enough. Yeah, let me something for you. So and Ghost goes towards the back, not too much to the back, just like a few feet away to start looking through what's there. And Ghost says, so how are you and him
is good. Yeah. And you and Cody.
Right. We're he's alpha, and yeah, it's so you and him, huh? Like the conversation happened. Cody talked a little bit about that.
Yeah, that happened. It wasn't exactly going to plan, but yeah. And Cody and you and Marcus.
Oh, right. Yes. I mean, I don't know. And I think at this point, Ghost just sort of like, you've had experience. I mean, you've been with your him for how long, right?
It's been a few years, yeah.
Yeah, so how do you know when like when it fits? Like how does that I mean not physically. I mean like emotionally.
Right. When feels wrong when thinking about it not fitting. This is not the kind of conversation I expected to have today.
Right. I'm not used to asking usually. No, but you're right. I apologize. It's inappropriate
Oh,
of me,
no.
but
It's not inappropriate. It's just we don't really do this talk.
yeah, but and then Ghost like comes up to you and they have the power bank in hand and they say, but you know what? I'm glad you told your him. I I know it's not pack law, but it was the right thing to do, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Wow, I didn't expect that to mean as much as it does, but it does. So thanks.
And Ghost places the power bank in your hands and says, there's a lot that I can't make up for and a lot that, but I will always do my best to be there for you because we're family.
Family, huh?
We're close enough.
The kids, you've seen them lately? They're doing good?
Oh, well, I got called in again for another PTA because Marcus hasn't been no, but it's good. It's good. I should probably talk to Ivar about it. But Cassandra has been you know what? Why don't we talk about it over coffee? I'd also love to hear your opinion on things.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do coffee.
And then Ghost pointedly like gives you the power bank, like as if to say, like, I'm paying for it. So just, just take it.
Coffee's on me then. Thanks, Ghost. And yeah, we'll talk later.
And then Ghost sort of smiles. And at that moment, I think someone walks in and Ghost gives you like an apologetic smile, like they have to attend to that person.
Duty calls. We'll yeah. Take care. He'll wander on out.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm just going to check in. Ivar, is there anything that you would like to be up to, or anyone that you would like to speak with?
Yeah, I think I'd like to speak with Ghost about the whole Noelle situation. I mean, Cody was pretty cagey about the whole what was going on. Then he went to talk to Ghost, which, okay, is fair because it's Ghost's mom. But I feel that there might be something in that situation. Because, I mean, there was this cave and all this blood in the cave, and I don't know. I want to hear Ghost's take on the whole thing, maybe without Cody's presence, because he's a kid and sometimes he's not careful, which I understand. Sometimes I'm not careful either.
Yeah, perfect. So where do you think you're catching up with Ghost? Is this later in the is this still in the shop, or will this be like later on in the day,
maybe
on safer territory?
Sort of lunch break, because I mean I have a shop to attend to as well. So, but when it's lunch break, I might amble over, get some of what I know Ghost likes. Maybe, I mean, I've known Ghost since he was a kid, so I can totally I remember that he liked these these spicy muffins that Enid made, and I have the recipe. I'm not a good cook or anything, but it's muffins, right? What can go wrong there? Oh, yeah, well, I know that's ambitious to say. I tried to make muffins and it didn't stick, so. But I think Ivar has made these before, so he will take them over and go and see if he can find Ghost.
Yeah, I think by this point, Ghost looks a little more frazzled. It's been a hard day inventorying. Like their hair is kind of a mess from the ponytail. And when they see you, there's this like kind of glaze, like, I forgot lunch. I forgot to bring lunch. Oh, muffins. Like Ghost starts to smell the air and then remembers like humans shouldn't like sniff the air like that.
Hi, Ghost. I brought muffins, as you have concluded. You want to go outside maybe for a little fresh air, things like that?
Oh, is it fresh air or fresh air? Fresh air. It's like
I'm just taking your arm and kind of not exactly dragging you with me, but steering you to the outside with a muffin, the bag with the muffins held enticingly in front. So come on, Ghost, you need a break.
And I sort of wave at everybody. I'll be back, just a long lunch break, right? And Ghost will be like, "Are you okay, Ivar? You seem a little. Is everything all right? Is there now something wrong with the pack?"
Ghost, we found a cave that was guarded by Omegas that had blood in it. And then your mother turned up. I don't know, you tell me.
Well, oh my gosh, and I think this is when Ghost realizes that they've been distracted by the whole Cody situation. Like there's this look of mod panic. Right, that is kind of, there was the blood, right?
Yeah, I know that Cody talked to her, and I imagine that he asked her about it.
Right, and Cody told you what happened, right?
No, Cody didn't tell me anything. Cody talked to you. He told me that I should leave her alone.
Well, I mean, she is dangerous, but he told me that, well, and I think you might have to provoke Ghost into spilling, because
I will try to do that.
Yeah, because like he's kind of like this tether situation in the past, and like
and stuff, and I have to open up my basic moves now before I can provoke you to do anything, because I don't know the rules.
No worries, it's okay. I also have to open
it. Okay, this PBTA. Bite marks, where are you? There you are. Okay. Now I'll have to wait until this thing opens up. Yep. Basic moves. Yay. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
No, I want to provoke spill. I think it's with heart, right?
Right.
Maybe
it is,
somebody.
Yep.
Where's the dice roller?
Oh, yeah, sure. I think I will just copy that into the chat. I think it's on the pack sheet, but I will just put it in chat.
Yeah, okay. I'm still scrolling because this is a lot of information given to the wolf. Thank you. No. Didn't we have a moves tab on this thing?
No, we don't, unfortunately. Sorry. I meant to add that.
Okay.
But yeah, to provoke spill, when you do something to provoke a packmate to reveal how they feel, roll with heart. Basically, on a hit, they have to spill, and there's other ramifications on a 7 to 9.
Yeah. Okay, I see it now. I've found it. I'm not Dallas Dice Roller. Yeah. It's a 9.
9. Okay, so yeah. Ghost will have to spill, and then you also have to you have to choose one as well, which is either that their response provokes you to spill as well as if they had rolled a 10 plus. So basically, you both have to spill at that point, or Ghost can choose to omit an aspect of the truth in their spell response. If they do that, then you don't get any pack pull for their spell. But yeah, which of those options would you like to choose? Either you spill as well, or Ghost gets to
Yeah, I know. I would like the first one where we
Sure.
both spill at each other, because that
Yeah,
seems a little more
perfect.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's okay with you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, so I think I'll choose to spill, but I'm also going to choose yeah, what are you afraid of? I think that makes sense, definitely. I Ghost like reaches over and says, so Mom, I mean Noelle, she's with the Omega Pack.
That's not a pack.
Right. But she wants it to be. She's saying that I can.
Not possible.
I don't. Ivar, this is really scary, and I think that she's lying, but she says that I can help tether her. And like it sort of hangs in the air, right? Like
yeah. Means. And you see that Ivar is starting a little to change at that point. And I imagine we're in some public park, secluded place where we wouldn't readily be observed, but the chance observer might come by. So it's not totally impossible that this might be not a good idea to change here. But still, he is his eyes are getting to be a little more yellow, and the hair is starting to get a little thicker and streaked with more grays and browns, like it does when you're a werewolf. And he's like, you try to do that with Enid and it didn't work.
It didn't. And Ghost like throws his arms around you and like presses his face close to you, like really placing his neck close to your mouth, right? And I don't know why she's lying to me. I don't know. Or maybe she really thinks, I don't know. I'm scared. I'm really, really scared. I didn't show it to Cody but I'm scared. I don't know what to do.
And I will return the hug. And you can feel that the tension in the muscles goes a little down. It doesn't abate him completely, but the moment that he would have gone into all-out change and basically some sort of rampage or something that has passed. But I need to spell now, right? What do I want to? Your desire for a packmate? What you're angry? Why you are hurting? Well, yeah. I think I'm going with that. And I'm taking harms, and I say it's still. What happened to Enid? It still haunts me. She was so weak and so lost. And I was so lost without her. I thought I would never find my way back from that.
But you did. You found your way back to us.
And I say, we're very quietly so that only you can hear it because of you.
But if I had been, I don't want to lose someone again. I want to become stronger. But I'm just grateful you made your way back.
I don't know. Noelle has always been, I know she's your mother and I shouldn't talk about her badly. And Daniel loved her. But there was something about her that did not care about other people. She cared more about magic and mystic stuff than she cared about the pack. That worries me.
True. I know that the only reason she agreed to leave was because she knew she could find power somewhere else. And now that she's back, I'm worried about what that means.
Yeah.
I know I used this move on Ivar already before, but
so do I.
Yeah, I'm going to use.
Yeah, you can see that I come to.
Yeah. No, I think I'm going to use geese. When you say "Don't tell another soul and share a secret of the packmate." Oh, and I'm going to add +1 to the spell.
Yeah, so you will both gain 1 tie on each other, and you will both add +1 pack to the pool. I haven't made any adjustments yet, so feel free to do those.
Got it.
Yeah, I think that looks about right for the pack. Cool. But yeah, go ahead, Ghost. Use your move.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and add another. Well, I'll say what it is first.
Yeah.
I'll say, and I think Ghost is very hyper aware of how much he is always like placing these secrets on you, but like, but there's no one else he trusts as much as you in the pack to be able to hold the secret, right? Because it's a big one, and says, please don't tell anyone else, but I think that she's doing what my father said that we can never do. I think she's trying to decide. I didn't make a mistake when I said that the Omegas were a pack. I think she's trying to create a pack.
The thing that worries me about this is the blood. I mean, the whole Omega situation is bad enough, but that blood in the cave. Ghost, there is something. You were in there. There was something very wrong. And what you told me about the land.
The land never asks for blood, but if you give it blood. I think I'm going to have to go get answers for the both of us.
Yeah, I thought I might do that myself.
I think Ghost is going to skirt the topic again. There's someone I have to talk to, and like they're in like the spaces in dreams, but he's not going to say it out loud. And it's a place only I can reach. If I don't make it back in time to make dinner tonight, then you can worry. But before that, I just need some time.
Okay.
But please, don't tell anyone about the pack just yet, the Omega pack. I just need to know for sure first.
I'm not telling anyone, Ghost. I trust you.
I trust you too. Oh, and we're having coffee with Jax. I forgot to tell you.
We do? Right now?
No, yes. Oh, I forgot. I should have asked for a time. I will do that thing with the phone. And yes, like the tech guy is like doesn't know how to say text.
Awesome. And I think that's probably quite a nice place to leave that scene for now. We'll take a quick break now, call about 5 minutes, and then we'll pick back up again. I'll see you all in a few minutes. So yeah, I think that with that, do we want to see the three of you meeting up for coffee? Is that something we're interested in playing out? Yeah, cool, awesome. So yeah, I will throw things over to you all as there is. I'm gonna ask this of Jackson. Do you think that you've gone for? I mean, there's probably a few different places in town, but I'm going to kind of give you the option. Is this like kind of is this the sort of the more hipster modern coffee place, or is this like the sort of the diner?
It would definitely be the hipster coffee place.
I figured, but I thought I'd ask. Yeah.
Better lighting for
naturally, yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
And I think Jackson would be kind of, again, on his phone, just scrolling through and then looking up. I think he'll see Ivar and be surprised, but incredibly grateful that it won't just be him and Ghost.
Yeah, because Ivar is the small talk guy you go to make things like awkward. Sure.
He's still a safer person in Jackson's estimation.
Yeah, he'll just say hi and then peer at the coffee selection, like, okay. What's that? What's a vanilla soy latte with strawberry latte?
A lot more calories than it's worth. The mochaccino is good though.
I'll take that then.
Does Paul still think we can't have chocolate? Because I've been keeping that up for a while.
I think Paul thinks chocolate is evil because he overate it with Cody when they were 13 and they were sick. Like,
sorry, that should have been Cody. I got my names mixed up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cody. Yeah, I think he still thinks that. But also he overate on chocolate with Paul when they were both 13. So I think it's a good thing that you told him that.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that.
Mm.
And yeah, so Ghost, what can I get you?
Oh, and I think this is when Ghost shows up and he has this like overly large frappuccino unicorn glitter rainbow with too many wafer sticks sticking out. And Ghost is like, I had to have it. I told them you were paying for it. I was going to say who they are, who you are, but they recognized you. So yeah.
Yeah, that is not what I expected for you, but cool. And
I like pretty things.
Yeah. And that is
That is supposed to be a coffee.
There is.
Okay.
If you get past the several layers of whipped cream, and I think the glitter is coffee flavored.
And I look at Jackson. This looks like it has even more calories.
I think that's pretty much liquid cake.
Interesting.
And Ghost is like has this like whipped cream like kind of mustache on top of his real mustache.
So are we talking business?
business? I thought we were talking about hymns.
Hymns works too. Just didn't expect Ivar to be joining us.
Oh,
Not that
Ivar's really good at advice.
he is.
Are we talking about what hymns? I don't sing.
I asked Jax about like Ghost like downs half of the unicorn monstrosity in one go.
Ivar looks a bit like looking for help at Jackson. Like, what does he want?
I think Ghost has caught some feelings.
Oh, these. Yeah, here your kids these days are very much into them. And then I will bury my face in the mochaccino. This tastes like chocolate.
And Ghost will just sort of like, I mean, it's complicated. Cody is Cody. I am this. They say, just gesturing towards themselves. And I mean, I think it's temporary. I don't think, but I don't want it to be. I don't know, but is temporary better?
Maybe just go with things as they are. Don't try and constrain it or expect anything. If things happen, things will happen.
Okay, well, I was expecting tragedy, so if I don't have to expect that, I guess that's okay.
Tragedy might not be the worst thing to keep in the back of your head. We're a little prone to it, it seems.
Yeah, but I think Ghost will pointedly not look at Ivar when they say tragedy.
Yeah, Ivar would pointedly not look at anyone. Maybe look at his phone.
Yeah. But if things are going well, then just roll with it.
I mean, but what's the sign of it going? I don't know how to say this. I haven't been with anyone before, so I don't I mean, not more than 2 days.
You're with Cody now.
Oh, am I?
I don't know. That sounded like you were.
I don't know.
Aren't you?
I mean, we've had sex, but I mean, I mean, because you can smell it, and I don't have to. So,
yeah, we knew when that happened.
I mean, it happened another time, and there were pies involved, but
Oh, pies.
I mean, we didn't use them; they were just there. So, should I have used them? Is that something people like?
No.
Your decision, but I really don't think I want to hear about it. I apologize, Ghost, but I feel that this is a little private. I know we talk a lot about stuff, but that might be more than I'm really comfortable with.
Right.
The details, I can smell it, yeah, but the details I don't want to need to know about.
Oh, okay, right. So, but I mean, when is it more than that? Like, when is it just that, and when is it? Do you know what I mean?
That's something you should talk to Cody about.
Like, Ghost starts to look a little panicked. I have to. I mean, there's talking involved.
In general, that's a recommended way forward in relationships.
Sometimes you just know.
So you just know, but you have to talk to know, but then you just know, and then you just go with it, but you don't expect. Okay.
You don't have to talk to know. Sometimes you just know. And then, well, there is a little talking like, we should get married or something, but
oh my god, Ghost abruptly stands up at the mention of marriage.
Look, that's how it was for me and Enid. Okay, that's maybe not the same thing.
Right. And Ghost sits back down. I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, I can't get married because there's the pack, but yeah.
Why can't you get married because there's the pack? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, but and then like Ghost like sort of like stops. I don't know. I just always thought I couldn't if there was.
I was married.
Yeah, but you're you, and
so
I don't know. And like Ghost is really trying to is having a difficult time trying to understand how can he both be part of the pack, but also like be in love if it is love, if it isn't, right? I saw the chat. You definitely are both taking a tie on Ghost, who's just spilling uncomfortably above their unicorn frappuccino.
Mm-hmm.
You need to talk to Cody and see that he's where he is, and if you're both in the same place, then that's good for you guys.
Right. I can do that. I could make a 17-course dinner and then talk about it.
Ghost, figure out what you want for yourself before you go talk to somebody else. And if you don't know, then you should at least know what your options, what kind of options you would like to explore.
And Ghost looks confused, like, what do I want?
Yeah, what do you want? You might have to think about your own desires now for a change.
Yeah, and Ghost looks really confused. I'll have to, I don't know, but that's a good question. Yeah.
And I sigh a little and I say, well, I've known you since you were a little ghost, and you were always more there for others than for yourself, but it's no way to live.
And I think at that, Ghost just sort of smiles and says, well.
And I'll put my hand on your shoulder or your arm, just
And I think with that, Ghost will pull you both in for like a hug and be like, well, what I desire right now is another one of these delightful concoctions. They have a mermaid version.
I will smell this concoction and decide that I might want one of these myself.
You aren't going to sleep for a week.
Good.
All right, coming right up. He'll push himself up to go pick up the additional orders.
And then when you're gonna look at Ghost, does he believe that caffeine affects us like that?
You mean it doesn't?
No. I mean, we go through wounds, we go through poison, we go through chocolate, everything. We can't really get drunk, Ghost. So why would caffeine keep us up unless we really want to believe that?
Like Ghost looks like absolutely harrowed, like having not made the connection before.
Seriously, kids these days.
He'll bring the caffeine, or sorry, the coffee's back looking more than a little shaken, and It doesn't work?
Jackson, not unless you believe it. You can't get drunk, right? Not really.
No, but
So,
never really thought about it. Well, that's really disappointing, but yeah, okay, that makes sense. I could have saved so much money.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money on good coffee beans with the house.
If it tastes good, it still tastes good.
it still makes sense to believe in it, I guess.
Speaking of belief, how's Marcus doing?
I like feel everybody's eyes on me as I say, well, I mean, the last time I talked to him, he wanted to leave for a while.
I get that. Maybe you should.
And like Ghost looks like genuinely sad about it. Well, if you both think it's for the best, then I'll trust your judgment on that.
Well, you should take his children and figure out a way they are what they are to each other, right? Because he can't just run away. He's got kids. They are his responsibility. It shouldn't just foist them off to either of you.
Oh, the kids. That's right. I wanted to show you. And then Ghost takes out their phone and says, okay, so I have the report cards and I have the reports from the teachers and I wanted to show you the videos. There's a recital coming up. We all have to go. And there's a theme.
And that is?
Sharks, apparently. I mean, I suggested wolves, but I was voted down, and I don't know. Sharks are very popular these days.
Sharks are good. They'll make good sharks.
Werewolf sharks, I don't know. But yes.
Jackson is much more interested in anything involving the kids than he seems to be with almost anything else in the pack. He's into that sharing.
And I think like Ghost needs help figuring out. They said they need costumes, but we have to figure that out. I mean, I'm not sure about the pattern.
I think actually you might want to draw Marcus in on this because they're his kids. And it's time that he got interested in them.
Well, I mean, I did ask, but it's hard to reach him lately. And I don't know if it's me but I mean, we have to be there for the kids.
Yeah, but I remember I tried when Paul was a kid, I tried to kind of foist the whole stuff that didn't interest me a lot onto Enid. And then she sat me down one day and said, hey, look, this is your kid. We're a family. Sometimes you have to do the work. Guess she was right. It made things, gave me a stronger connection to my son. So I think I can talk to Marcus about that. Do you think that's might be a good idea?
He might hear it from you before he'd hear it from anyone else.
It's true.
I don't know. I was his father's second he kind of inherited me as a second in command. And I don't know that he ever was comfortable with that. And then other things happened. And I looked to Ghost, like, you know what I mean? But I can't talk to him. For the kids.
I know that I haven't been able to reach him, so and I think Ghost is like really struggling with this because the idea of a parent having to be there for a child is not something he's used to, so it's like a foreign concept to him, but he trusts you. If you say it's important, then it's important.
He'll be okay. Whatever happens, he's stronger than I think he gives himself credit for. Marcus, I mean.
And I shake my head because, well, because that's the same thing's true for Ghost, isn't it?
And I think at this point, Ghost is just saying, oh, and I printed out some of the pictures here. And like, there's these huge, like, overblown photos of the kids.
With everything going on with your mom, actually, do we maybe want to send Marcus away with the kids?
Oh, before she gets her claws into them, that might be a good idea.
Till we get to the bottom of everything, maybe, just to be safe.
Yeah, I think Ghost will really struggle with the idea. Like, it was so hard with the idea of Marcus leaving, but I think Ghost will like visibly struggle for a moment, and right, we should pack something warm for the kids.
Let's first talk to Marcus before we start packing. Also, we can send them to Florida or California. Here, that's involved.
It's an idea. Keep them safe.
Right, no matter what. You have to keep each other safe.
He'll kind of give Ghost a bit of a sharper look there, but not say anything.
And I think Ghost will actually not look back, but reach out and say, for the sake of everyone that we couldn't keep safe, we have to keep them safe, right?
Yeah. If only for them. And, just let's make sure Cody doesn't take things too far. He's got a lot to learn.
I think he could if he doesn't get in over his head. If he learns to ask for advice, he could be a great alpha. I think, maybe, possibly.
I think Ghost just sort of like mysteriously smiles at that, like doesn't say anything.
And I give you a raised eyebrow, but I don't press.
We need to keep him in line while he gets his feet under him.
That won't go well. Try to keep him in line.
Probably not, no.
Even as a little kid, he didn't react well to people telling him what to do. I've known him for a long time, like I've known all of you for a long time, my kids. And I give all of you like a sort of hug. Damn it. You're all so young.
And
life should be better for you.
And I think Ghost laughs and pulls at your hair a little bit teasingly. You're too young to talk like a gray pelt. Ivar, don't worry. You're not that old yet.
Oh.
You're pretty old.
Yeah, I'm pretty old.
By Instagram years, maybe.
Nah, Ghost, I feel I've earned my age, Ghost. I'm not down on being old. It's fine. I'm good with it. I've earned it.
Can I can we get a picture actually? Not for Instagram or anything, just for me.
Sure.
Oh, sure. This is one of those, what do you call it? Traps? What is it?
A thirst trap? No, we're all wearing shirts.
Oh, they don't have. Oh, okay.
You want some tips on spicing up your Instagram though? We'll talk later.
Yeah, we'll take the picture, and I go talk to Marcus, and you can talk about your thirst trap Instagram shenanigans.
And Ghost just has like on their Instagram feed just pictures of their walks, right? Like Ghost doesn't show up in any of the photos.
Yeah, he'd take a good picture of the arm out, the three of them in frame, and just for him.
Awesome. I think actually, I think I'm going to count that as another spill because it feels like a fairly significant action on Jax's part. So again, I will say both Ghost and Ivar, you can take a tie on Jax, and I'll add another thing to the pool.
What happens when I roll over with the
Sure.
ties?
So yeah, your ties reset to 1 with that person, and you get a point of XP.
Oh, nice. And no questions asked or anything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but it's just if I can find the right thing. Yeah, cool. Perfect. Yeah, awesome. So I think we've got a couple. So I just wanted to check in things that people have mentioned specifically wanting to do. Is obviously some sort of confrontation with Noelle, or looking more into what she's doing. But I know that Ghost said that they wanted to maybe do some dream walking first, and before doing that. And oh yeah, I will also get into that in a second. Also, yeah, Ivar mentioned speaking to Marcus. So those are probably a couple of things we'll do. Again, obviously, Jax, if there's anything you want to do as well, or if you want to get involved in any of those other ones, that is cool. But yeah, we will just quickly, because I realize I haven't checked in with people about XP after any of our scenes so far. So I'll just do a quick kind of recap here. If over this or the previous scenes, you feel like, I know obviously we've only really seen people in human form today. So I think for the majority of you, yeah, cool. I think if you think you've hit some of your heartbeats, mark an XP for that, and I think people definitely have. Likewise, if you feel like we've hit on any of the pack traditions, pack culture, I should say, sorry, again, feel free to mark some XP. And again, I think we've definitely seen some of that up. So yeah, do check in on that.
Oh, actually, I do have a question. I realized.
So. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, because earlier I was at like 3 for the human path and 2 for wolf path, and because I hit my 4th tie with Ivar, and it was an XP, I thought it could mean I could put it in the wolf path, but should it have been in the?
No, I think
okay.
I think for that is fine. Yeah, I think when you loop around in the relationship, that can go into whichever you like. I think.
Okay.
It's. I certainly like to use it that way because it just gives that a little bit more flexibility.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's exactly how I used it. So then I took an advance.
Awesome. Perfect. So I think because we've had quite a few talking scenes, and not that this won't in and of itself be a talking scene, I think I'm quite interested in seeing Ghost attempt to do their thing in the dreams. So yeah. Where does Ghost go to sort of do his ritual, or however else he's planning on accessing these dream figures? Well, I'll get a bit more on that in general and exactly what we're going for. But yeah, just as an outset, where are you sort of going and what are you doing to kick this off?
Yeah, I think we see Ghost walking towards that same area where in the first session where Ghost had set up a shrine, but Ghost has brought with them one of those like ridiculous frappuccino unicorn mermaid stirrers from the coffee shop, and lays it down next to the very serious looking skull there. But then Ghost sighs, knowing that he has to go deeper into the forest to a different shrine that he hasn't shown anyone. And so in order to do that, he normally when we shift into wolf form, it's very, we meld and melt into that different shape. But now what happens is instead that Ghost has to take off his skin. I won't go into too much detail, but basically like as if it was a suit, and taking it off and leaving it like there's something underneath that's kind of dreamlike and not fully there. And he very carefully like folds up what he had to take off and places it on the shrine. But as he moves into the forest, he starts becoming more wolf-like, but it keeps melding back and forth between the two. And so he's entered like a waking trance dream state, which I'm going to say is like absolutely forbidden, and no wolf of the pack should be doing that. But it's something that his mother taught him how to do. He needed to find answers.
Yeah, I think actually, in which case we will start things out. I'm going to ask you to make me a roll to disobey.
That's right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. I think it's guts, right? So, yep. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Oh, it's a 4. Like I rolled really low.
Yeah, sure thing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say you are still able to proceed with your ritual. I'm not going to prevent that because I'm not really interested in penalizing you in that way. But I think maybe you aren't able to. I think there's still some kind of reticence, and you're maybe holding back a bit more than you otherwise might. But yeah, I'm happy for you to carry on. I don't want to like block you from doing it entirely.
Yeah, I think the way that it's explained is it flashes back to the cave and the blood. And I think if Ghost had to go all the way in the way that his mother taught him, it would need a sacrifice of some kind, and Ghost is not willing to go that far. And so I think instead Ghost has to push himself harder than he should have to. Like he has to sacrifice an aspect of himself instead. And so that's what he's holding back. Like it's just he's barely able to do this, but it's not very stable, I think.
Yeah, and I think what I might ask you to do is to mark 3 harm, please, as this is you have to really push physically hard to get this to work without without the necessary sacrifice that otherwise you would have performed.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like we see the form kind of like shifting in and out.
Excellent. So yeah, perfect. So yeah, you but yeah, you push through and you are able to. I've also given Cody another tie on you as alpha for your disobedience. But yeah, you're able to sort of finally take and you reach this final shrine, and so obviously you're going to try and kind of get in contact with these sort of spiritual or land spirits or dream spirits or whatever, however you want to sort of phrase it. What sort of in specific are you looking to do here? I'm going to ask just so I know what I'm kind of framing around.
This is not something that Ghost wanted to do initially, but because the idea of his mother asking for a tethering scared him. I know that my mother left behind an aspect of herself in the dream state, specifically to continue my training and to continue teaching me, but I've never sought it out. So I'm specifically looking for that aspect she left behind.
Sure thing. Do you think you have a specific move that applies to this, or otherwise I think this will probably be a act on instinct to use your superhuman abilities?
I'm wondering if I should get prophecy, but it's kind of like about another packmate. Let's see. Yeah, I can't think of a move that would like absolutely. That's right, because most of the moves are like pack oriented, actually.
Yeah. No worries. So yeah, I think in which case we'll go just with act on instinct, which is a roll with feral, which is when you use your superhuman abilities or act under a threat.
Okay.
And then we'll see how things go from there.
Okay, come on. I'm gonna remove these D6s just because I'm superstitious. And then roll again. Oh, it worked. So I got an 11.
An 11, perfect. You describe, you do it. Describe how you succeed. Give it a little flourish and take +1 to the pack pool.
Ooh, that's right. Okay. I'll say that when Ghost like completely goes into their wolf form and slips into this in-between place of dreams where all these fragments were left behind, I know that my mother hid this incredibly well, and I know only I can find it if I can push myself hard enough to reach here. And I'm able to track her because I know I just have to follow the memories that she left behind. And I know she did it on purpose so that the memories wouldn't affect her as strongly. Like she still has them, but the emotional resonance of those memories are left behind in this space. So I see memories of, I think like from her perspective, like her not knowing how to take care of her children, not her not, wait, I'm gonna double check our lines and veils just to be on the safe side. Yeah, so like her not knowing how to be there for her children. I'm getting kind of close to one of our asks first for toxic relationships, like, but I'm also happy to not provide any details and just summarize it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm sort of I'm broadly happy with this idea of her, yeah, not really knowing yeah, you know, being kind of a distant and not necessarily very loving parent. If anyone does feel like that is going to get to an area they're not happy with, we can have either a bit more detailed discussion on it or move to something different. But people sort of broadly okay with this.
Good.
Yeah. Sure thing.
But cool. Yeah, so I think it's mostly like visual. Like we see her just watching the children, not knowing how to interact with them. Like she's going through the motions of taking care of them, but she doesn't, like from her perspective, it's just confusion. She doesn't know how to connect to her children or to other people in the pack. The only one she's connected to is her husband. And so I think there's a point where, as we get closer and closer to the fragment that she left behind, where she's training me and she's placing the tattoos on my skin, and I'm very young. And she says, "This is so that you'll find your place in the pack." And I realize now that I'm following the memories that she was really talking to herself, that if she could ensure a place for me in the pack where I was important, then it would mean that she would understand her place in the pack.
Cool. Yeah, and as you sort of pass through these memories, you will see a figure. Again, a bit like with when you saw your father. It is your mother, but she's you know, younger than the last time you saw her. This is again probably sort of about the age she was when you were about 6 or 7 or something like that. And she looks up and says, "It's been so long since I have seen you, my child. I had hoped you would visit me sooner than this."
You know that I couldn't, that I wouldn't, unless it was important, unless I didn't have a choice.
And now you are here, so I can only assume it is because you want something from me.
Yes. I'm willing to pay the price for whatever knowledge she can give me, but I need to know, is there truly a way to tether the broken, to tether the omegas?
I have it may be. I have read some things, learned some things, but no one truly understands how these bonds that bind us work. We have thoughts. Witches can do more, but as you know, this pack has a strained relationship with the witches. Though once someone is lost, they are lost. There is no coming back from that. The mind splinters, mind fragments. We revert to a maddened, bestial state. and there is no return from that.
And so, Mother, I ask one more question. What is it that I can give you that no one else can?
You could make this pack into something more. There is a power here, untapped. With it, it could become more than the sum of our parts, more than the greater packs, the we could find a space outside of the bounds of Alpha and Omega, could make a new world for all of us. And you, I think, could do this. You could take this power that is hidden here, that is trapped here, and free it. And I can show you how.
And Ghost says, free it or imprison it for ourselves.
Tame it. Is that a better word?
If I do this, will you leave the rest of the pack alone?
I am just a memory child.
I will listen to what you have to say.
And at that moment, you will feel a hand on your shoulder that feels very real, despite being in this dream state. And you, as you sort of turn around, you will see a face that you do not recognize, though we will. It is Eric, and he will say, "You should leave this place. It is not safe for you. I can help you back."
Did the land bring you here?
No, I brought me here.
And I think Ghost will also be confused because they're currently in wolf form and they thought that question, but Eric answered it and heard it, and Ghost is very confused. But I think Ghost also recognizes that he was on the verge of doing something really dangerous. So, but I also want to, is there does it make sense? Harness the wolf?
Yes, there is. We can check that in a second. I think actually we'll take a quick break there and come back in a moment. But yes, we will absolutely pick up with checking into that. So yeah, I will just pause our recording and so we'll just pick up with where we left off. So excuse me. So yeah, I think that as you turn around and look at Eric, he as well does have that similar sort of appearance to the way everything else is. That sort of slightly almost like translucent look to him, but his hand on you, as I said, it felt more real than most of what else you've experienced here in this place. And he will say, I can lead you back to yourself if you'll follow me. But I know and he'll sort of he will though pause and say, "But I won't force you to. This is still your decision. But
Yeah,
this is dangerous for you, dangerous for everyone."
Yeah, that's super undeniable. I cannot deny the dangerous part. I think Ghost will still want to know what's going on, though.
Yeah, that is fair.
So I don't know that this was a hot guy talking to Jackson, or like I just. I mean, Jammy's very excited, but Ghost is very nervous and almost made a horrible mistake. So, yeah, I will go ahead and. Where did the tab go?
So Harness the Wolf is a role with Feral. So if you'd like to,
what is my Feral? I don't think it's high enough. Oh my gosh, it's a 6. It's so annoying when it's like almost like there.
Yeah. And I think that is the point when your mother's memory it's that odd thing again, very where like it's not even that she went anywhere so much as she just sort of like faded into the background when you weren't really when you were distracted from her. Again, using that very kind of dream logic situation. But she steps back towards you and says, "Do not listen to this outsider child. I can give you power, more power than you have ever had so far, but still only a taste of what is to come." But as she is talking, you get in your nose again that same decayed blood smell from the cave, and she is going to reach out towards you, but it's again like it's almost like that half shift thing where her nails extend out into claws, fur covering her hand, and she is going to lash out at the spectral figure of Eric, and is going to try and basically claw out his throat. What do you do?
Oh my gosh, can I get in the way of that and take the hit instead?
Yes, so that would be mauling when you use physical violence in this situation, which includes defending specifically. So yeah, if you'd like to make a roll with teeth.
Okay. All right, I can do this. Okay, rolling. Oh my god, I rolled snake eyes. So it's like a total of 3.
Ooh. Yeah, so her claw, you kind of leap you leap at her to try and drive her away, but with her other hand she just backhands you across the jaw, and it's like this is even as a werewolf, the force with which she hits you is unexpectedly strong. You are slammed sideways. You crash into one of these sort of trees in this clearing. So I'm going to ask you to mark 2 harm for me, please. And with the claws that she's got, she kind of in the same motion. She just tears through Eric's throat. And for a moment, there's just like spectral looking blood starts to run down his chest, but it's almost like as it runs down his chest, like the image of him dissolves as with it. So until it just like his image just fades out entirely, and there is nothing left behind, but the memory of your mother, her eyes, her eyes flaring with anger, and your blood dripping from a clawed hand. And I think with that, I'm going to switch over briefly to Marcus. To Ivar, who I believe was going to speak with Marcus.
I think he was thinking if we wanted to go and confront Noelle or speak to Marcus first. And I think he decides that speaking to Marcus, he can do that after evening meal or something. He would, but then still he has to disobey Cody's command to go and speak to Noelle. So I would roll for that disobedience, and if I make it, then I'll go to speak to Noelle. If I don't, then I can decide, Marcus might be more important.
Sure
right
thing. Sure thing. So yeah, if you'd like to make that roll to disobey.
Yeah, I'll roll with guts, which I don't have a lot of. It's a 4, so it's not going well.
Yeah, you want to obey, but your instinct to obey overwhelms you. So you acquiesce. So the but you can't bring yourself to
I wonder if I could spend pack on this roll, because I'm not doing this because I want to obey the very logical alpha, because I want to protect the pack. And I can't spend pack when I'm on my own because I'm the enforcer.
Yeah. So for this, unfortunately, no, you can't. What you could do, though, is you could spend any tie you have on Cody, if that will bring you up. But specifically, you can't use pack to disobey the rules of the alpha.
Okay, but I can spend all my ties on Cody. I will.
Yeah, sure thing.
I will do that because I have 3 bonds with Cody, and I like Cody, but he doesn't make the best decisions as an alpha, right? And I think not trying to coddle Noelle, I don't know. He doesn't know her. He never knew her. He never met her before. I want to check for myself, basically, even though I really have to push myself to do that, because I'm not usually the kind of person, the kind of enforcer who will follow his own head. But on that one, with Paul in the mix, especially with Paul being somewhere in the mix, then I really don't want to have Noelle. I mean, I saw what she did with Ghost, and I'm pretty sure Enid didn't like her or trust her or anything.
Sure thing. Are you going to take Jax with you, or are you going alone on this? Either is absolutely fine. Don't feel pressure to go one way or the other, but
I have to take 1 pack from the pool anyway because I'm disobeying. I mean, I will tell Jax that I'm going there, no matter what Cody said. I wanted to take a look at her for myself because, well, I know Cody means well, and he is the alpha. He never knew her or met her, and she is a manipulative person. So I think I want to ask her about the whole blood situation myself, because I have the feeling that nobody did.
Sure. Cool. So yeah,
I don't know what your reaction to that would be, Jax.
I think Jax would, he'd be willing to go as backup because it's Ivar, but if Ivar didn't think he needed it, Jax would trust him.
Ivar isn't certain. He might want to have somebody be a kind of a witness to the conversation, or maybe pull him back if he overreacts, because he will admit that he's got a thing about Omegas.
Maybe he could use Jax's charm.
No, I don't think we want to charm her. She is manipulative, Jax. Did you meet her?
I knew her.
You know what she's like. Don't think charm's the way to go with her. Or maybe it is, I don't know. My natural reaction to Omegas might be a bit more violent than, I don't know. I trusted Cody to handle this, but I want an explanation for the blood in the cave.
Let's go get it.
Okay, good. Okay, then we're going together.
Awesome. So yeah, you will be able to make it out to the old hunting lodge where she was before, and even as you approach, you can smell that she is still clearly here. As you make your well, sorry, I'll in a moment I will ask you to describe how you are making your approach. The one thing I do, just again, I want to just double check, so it's getting close to one of our veils here, or probably in fact a couple of our veils. Are people okay with some pretty obvious evidence of recent killings having taken place?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Killings of what? I mean, yes, but of what precisely?
Of the other Omegas. Yeah. It will be quite apparent. Yeah, no, that's fine. I just wanted to check in that. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So obviously, you have both been here before. I think so it was the two of you who were backing Cody up last time, wasn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, you know the layout of the place. So yeah, how are the two of you making your approach?
I think we're in human form at this point, because talking to people is a bit easier when we're human, right? And I know that if I'm a wolf and I see an Omega, I might just escalate the situation unnecessarily.
Sure thing. So yeah, you both show up, and as you approach, Noelle will be stood on the like sort of little veranda thing, waiting for you, or comes out as you arrive, and she will smile and say, Ivar, Jackson, it has been far too long. How are you both?
Suspicious.
Well, you always were, Ivar. You always were. And again, she's wearing kind of just a very like loose kind of dressing gown, kimono type thing. She will say, can I get you anything? Tea? And I have little else, I will admit.
Explanation would be nice.
Of course.
I point at the dead Omegas.
Yeah, you will see at this point, kind of at the side of the hunting lodge. There's obviously a place where there's sort of wood stacked up and a chopping block and the like, and stacked neatly in a line. On top of the wood pile are 3 wolf heads. No, 4. Sorry, I think it was. I think I said before, but yes, there are sort of these 4 wolf heads lined up in a row on top of the wood pile, and she will kind of gesture towards them and say, "Yes, I have fulfilled my promise to your new alpha."
Promised him to stack up heads of those.
He asked me to ensure that the Omegas wouldn't hurt anybody.
One of them was already dead and no danger to anybody.
Well, it was... You could think of it as a kindness, I suppose.
Oh. Whose blood was it in the cave, Noel?
Oh. Old blood. That blood has been there for generations.
It didn't smell that old.
No. But that blood was spilt long ago by your pack, and some stains can never be cleansed entirely.
I don't trust her. I think I want to dominate her into telling me the truth. Is that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, absolutely, yeah.
Cool. And I will try that. Come on, dice roller. Be nice. No, it's a 5. But I can spend peck on that, right?
You can, yes, you can indeed.
I will, because I don't want to fail here. I'm sorry for depleting the pack pool today, but I guess that's what it's there for. Then it's a 7 to 9.
Yeah. So yeah, how does it look as you bring your as you sort of dominate her and try and get her to fulfill your bidding?
Yeah, I might get a little bit bigger because my eyes flash this yellow light and I step towards her. My voice gets deeper a lot, and I say, "Don't play your games with me, Noel. Tell me what's going on with that cave and what you're doing here."
It is the truth. The blood spilt there was centuries ago. The blood of witches, to be specific. But, as you can tell, some of the power, some of the anger, resentment, magic remains in that place.
And you want to use that?
Of course.
Even though it is wrong. Even though the land cries out against it.
While Ivar and Noel are speaking, could Jackson use resources to see if he can find anything with his contacts about what happened here?
Yeah, absolutely.
A roll on heart. And I'll use the occult and probably religion spheres of influence with Jackson's ties to local businesses. Maybe he has knows someone running a little occult shop.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. So yeah, if you'd like to make that roll, and we'll see how that goes.
That is a 10.
10, perfect. So on 10 up, I'm looking at the wrong person. Yes. So yeah, awesome. So yeah, you will get a sorry, just checking on the move. So yeah, you'll get a +1 ongoing for all related roles. So anything you sort of do to kind of base this information. But what I will give you is I'll give you some of the background that you've probably, this is kind of more in the case of something that you already, you like, as you say, you check in with people, know some of the people around town who would know this sort of thing, and this is probably sort of like more, in the sense of like remembering conversations you have previously had. And yeah, what you will know is that it was there were as in many New England towns back in the 17th century. There were witch trials held here. Not as famous, obviously, as like Salem or anything like that, and not on as big a scale, but in like local sort of folklore, it is still remembered. A family who there had been, it's the sort of usual sort of situation where a family was there, some livestock going missing, mysterious disappearances, all of this sort of stuff were going on around town. It was held to be witchcraft, and a local family was accused of being witches. And what sort of what you know of the of this period of time is the sort of some of the antecedents of some of the ancestors of the current pack here were still in the were here back in the day, and in fact the one of the ancestors of the pack was the magistrate at the time. There was kind of a bit of controversy around the whole situation because the family that was accused, they were actually quite close friends with the magistrate at the time, but he kind of went with the will of the townsfolk and carried sentenced them to death.
I think Jax will kind of hold his phone out for Ivar and thus transfer the +1 ongoing for any actions Ivar takes for this.
Sure thing. Yeah, that sounds good. Perfect. So yeah.
I'll look at that.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was reading the wrong move
Okay.
there. But yeah, sorry, yeah. So you'll get that information. Sorry, I was confused.
I step towards her and I say, "Do you remember our laws? It hasn't been that long. You're not respecting the will of the land. Well,
I am no longer part of your pack. I was judged for breaking the traditions, and I was expelled. They have no hold over me anymore.
You should leave." You were expelled. You're not supposed to be here.
No. No, I am not, but they are still my family. They still belong to me. Their blood is my blood. You know how it is. You have a child.
And I growl at her, and I get a little bigger, and my fingernails will get a little sharper. And I say, do not mention my child, Noah. Do not even think of threatening him.
And she will take a step back and say, I will not threaten your child. Ivar, I have no need to. But you should think carefully about what you want here.
I want you gone. That's what I want. It's not my decision to make, but at least I figured out what your plans are. I'm telling you now, leave. Leave your family alone. They don't deserve this. If you don't, well, we'll see. And I'd turn into wolf by then, because there's too much emotions right now.
Sure. And
I hope Jax will pick up my clothes and my phone, but
yes, she will turn to you at that point, Jax, and she'll say, so, Jackson, do you agree with Ivar here that I should leave this place?
I think it's a wide world, and there could be a place for you out there.
I can leave. I can find elsewhere to go, I'm sure, but that will not stop them from being my children. They will always be a part of me.
And you'll always be a part of them.
I will.
That can be true even when you're not here.
And I think at that point is when you will all three of you there will feel a sudden indefinable pain shoots through all of you. You can see you can see that it clearly affects. It clearly does affect Noel as well. You feel it kind of through your bonds as a moment of sharp pain and surprise bursts through them, and you can see something crossing her face as well. And she kind of looks around, looks kind of just not at anything in particular, but just in that sort of like her eyes sort of darting around kind of way. Her eyes flash purple as well at that, as she is clearly startled. And I'm going to flick back to Ghost. So yeah, you are in this clearing. As I say, you've been smashed against a tree. This memory of your mother, Claude, stands above you. Your blood on her claws. The figure of Eric, who was here before, is now dissolved entirely. What do you do?
I think seeing how this memory is capable of hurting people, I can't let it exist anymore. I think I'm gonna have to take the memory head on and try to destroy it so that she no longer has anything left in this space.
Sure thing. If you would, if you're going to go ahead on, that will be another mauling. If you wish to activate words, the shapeshifter given to the wolf first, you may, but you are under no obligation to do so.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe this is like serious mode. We'll see how it goes. Because the rolls have been scary, but I think it's a good. I think it shows how desperate Ghost is. I'm going to refresh because I'm very superstitious. The equivalent of me blowing up the dice. I rolled a 10.
Perfect.
Flat 10. So I mean, I think you even get a little more than that. It's feral, right? I'm just
it is feral, I believe. Yeah.
So 11. Not that it matters, but I'm just happy. Okay.
But yeah, no, that's perfect. So on a 10 up, you get to choose 2 things from that list, which are, as ever, you take less harm, you deal more harm, you discern your opponent's next move, you knock someone out, you impress or intimidate someone, and you do not take minus. Well, no, sorry, I'm reading the wrong list. I'm reading the mauling list. Sorry, that's that. Ignore that. Well, don't ignore that. Bear that in mind for future. But yeah, you can reduce your hearts and guts by up to 2 to increase your teeth and or feral by up to 2. You can gain +1 harm. You can gain +2 armor. You can add 2 to the pack pool, or you can heal an additional harm when you return from wolf form.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to increase teeth.
Yep.
That's my teeth right now. My teeth 1. I'm gonna pull down heart to 1 and then make teeth 3.
Yep.
And then I'm going to add +1 harm. So I think the way that this looks is like Ghost is larger than they've ever been before. This is like a side of Ghost that I don't think even Ghost has ever like done this before, period. But they're desperate and they feel guilty, like someone else got hurt again trying to protect Ghost. So they're going to have to take responsibility for it.
Sure thing. Excellent. So yeah. If you I mean, as I said, you can either go for direct confrontation, you could try dominating to back down, but it sounded more like you're going for full on teeth and claws here.
I think it makes sense for
Ghost
in this moment. All right, so I'm gonna roll. Okay. Good thing I have the +3. That's all I'm gonna say. 5, 6, 7, 8 in total. Yeah.
8. Yeah, perfect. So So yeah, that increase in teeth definitely helped there. So yeah, you get to choose one from the list. Either you take one less harm, you deal one more harm, you discern your opponent's next move, you knock someone out, you impress or intimidate someone, or you do not take -1 forward on your next given to the wolf move.
Yeah, I think it's going to be definitely deal one extra harm. Like that's where Ghost is focused on.
Yeah, sure thing. So with the extra harm you have gained from the from giving into the wolf and the +1 harm from this mauling, you will take this memory down. You will destroy them. They as you go in, they will rake at you with the claw that they have. So you will take 2 harm. But yeah, describe how this looks as you destroy the memory.
Yeah, I think as I'm very inspired by WandaVision, the last episode. But anyway, I think like as Ghost surges forward, they you can see them being pulled apart by all these different memories. And I think there's a lot of painful memories in there, a lot of sad memories. But I think there's also one memory that Ghost has never seen before when she's watching the children sleep and she sits by Ghost and she strokes his hair. And the emotion tied to this memory is just such an immense amount of sadness. And so when the memory is destroyed, it's released and it finds its way back.
Nice. And I'm also going to say, if you wish, again, you are not required to, but if you wish to use your Speak with the Dead move here, then you can do so. It will obviously, because this is your mother's memory, you won't be able to ask her questions about current stuff, but if there are any questions you wish to ask, you may do so. As I said, not required, but that option is available to you.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. So we'll see. I have a +1. So oh, okay, thank the Lord Jesus. Okay, so it's a 9 in total.
Sure.
Which means I get to ask 1. And I think the way that it looks is the memories leak and there are these dreams. And I think they're just dreams of when she first fell in love with my father. So like when they were much younger and like by a tree. And the question I'm going to ask is, I guess like just really straightforward. What do I need to know?
Yeah. The thing that you realize, and the thing that you know, that I think the thing that is most important for you to know is that in these memories, this memory in particular that you see, and in some of those other very early memories of your mother, she clearly had a lot of love for your father and for you as children. The coldness, the darkness that came over her was a later development. It was something that happened to her. Like for Ghost as the youngest, this this change in her attitude was probably before he was forming memories. But yeah, she was not always. There's definitely that this whatever this corruption is in the land infected her. It is what warped her. That's you know, the level of her culpability in exposing herself to that taint is, you know, up for debate. But the changes in her, the drive in her, the obsession in her, is a direct result of this curse, essentially.
Yeah, I think when Ghost starts to realize that he starts to lose control of the wolf form, and like I think he's violently, because he's weakened now, I don't think he can hold on to the ritual, and I think he passes out and wakes up like in his human form in the middle of the forest.
Awesome. And I think that is where we will leave things for the evening, or for the afternoon. That's so yeah, thank you very much. I am going to stop recording now, and then we'll